Yo, what up? What up? What up? Y'all get in here. This this gonna be a classic right here, bruh. This motherfucker right here is gonna be a classic. This shit is gonna be a classic. Y'all gonna definitely want to get up in here. Y'all definitely are gonna want to get up in here, man. Straight up. Y'all gonna get the flame ready. Y'all ready, man. Lion, what up? Kwame Kaji, what up, man? Yeah, it's gonna be a classic right here. A mitigated classic. It's mostly for the young guys. Well, I ain't gonna say the young guys. I ain't gonna say the young guys. Because the young guys, they already know what's up. This is for the nearly middle age guys. They young guys to me, but this for the nearly middle age guys. This really for y'all, man. You know, it's all about the brothers over here, man. Cam, what up, man? Distant Rose, what up? Jermaine Taylor, what up, dog? Brother Zeke, what up, man? Yeah, this gonna be a good one right here. It's gonna be a real good one. Let a few of y'all get in here. Stephen, what up, dog? Hey, hey, hey. Now, Favor writes in no order: Valley Voice, Alt Gamer Nerd Chick, Shirt by Band She Can't Name, 5 songs for yeah, she really yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do my list, and then after that, y'all can contribute. I'm gonna do my list, then y'all can come in and contribute. I'm gonna do mine. Saul, what up, man? Shit, damn. Saul, what up? No news, what up? Yeah, I'm gonna do my list, then y'all can contribute. I love interaction, but I'm gonna do my list first. Go get a few more people in here. Slowly starting to build up and slowly starting to build up again. So I'm gonna set the threshold at 20 because we slowly starting to build up. Maybe about a month down the line, we'll start off at 30 and then 40 and then the customary 50. That's when I know I'm back. Yep. Up. We hit the threshold. All right, man. Let's take off. We'll list these from 10 all the way up to 1, and we go discuss each one, right? Number 10, going to or shopping in all white spaces. It's nothing that, you know, even though most of them crave crave the plantation, right? They crave the plantation, right? Those that don't crave the plantation, they like a little piece of the plantation by being with Brad. At the end of the day, being with Brad is mostly about you. It's mostly about getting back at you because most of them are actually gay. They don't want to be with any man, period. They would love to be the dominant partner in a lesbian relationship with a woman that's not lesbian presenting, but they don't have the money for that shit. They don't have the money for that. So they deal with men out of a survival choice. But since they gonna make the survival choice of dealing with men, they would rather deal with somebody that pisses that they think in their mind pisses you off, right? And so the ones who actually literally crave the plantation, they can't really get there because they have to preserve some type of public face of dignity. They have to fit in with modern society, right? So the closest piece that they can have to that is going to or shopping in all white areas because that gives them Miss Ann affectations, just like being fancy maids. I frequently have to explain to simp niggas because you still have simp niggas out here who actually think that all sex during antebellum slavery was just strictly under duress, that it was all rape. And they try to apply modern day sensitivities to it, right? They try to apply their whole Me Too disproportionate power dynamic bullshit to it. And no, it's not like that. No. Actually, when you look at it, a lot of the fancy maids enjoyed their lives more than the white wives did. You want to know why? The fancy maids didn't have any type of standards of decorum or morality that they had to live up to. All they had to do is be the sapphire. That's all they had to do. All they had to be is seductive and fuck good. Don't you know, my grandfather told me that them slave masters used to print out passes for the fancy maids to go into town and do whatever they wanted to do. They'll sign and put their little wax stamp on there, and they even send a wagon and a horse. Have one of the other slaves go with a wagon and a horse to ride their ass into town where they could do whatever the fuck they wanted to do. That white woman couldn't do that. She couldn't do that. She had to have her ass on that plantation, tending to them kids, tending to their house. No matter how many slaves, domestics that he had up under her, she still had to be over there to administer all of them and not leave her post as woman of that motherfucking house. But that fancy maid could, because she just had to be there when the sun went down, right? And so that's the closest to being equal to a white woman that a black woman ever got to be in terms of station. In terms of quality of life, the fancy maid era, they was actually outpacing in antebellum slavery, they were outpacing white women, right? But that's the closest that she got is with those Miss Ann affectations, the shirt waist dresses, the silk dresses and everything, with the puffy fucking bustles up under them and all of that shit, the little bitty umbrellas, the lace, the see-through lace gloves, right? Well, going shopping in all white areas brings back a nostalgia for that time. And it gets her closer in proximity to what she spiritually identifies with. And that's whiteness and white institutions and white male dominance. Right? So that's why she that's why you have black women that'll be living in the fucking projects and will insist on whenever they want to make a, even though online shopping kind of took some of that away, but still, when a lot of them want to go shopping, they will head out to an all white area to do it. They will. Yep. That was number 10. This is one of my favorite ones right here, even though it's kind of low. But mind you, when she's going into these all white spaces, it's a ghetto gagger mating call because she goes there with the small inkling of hope that she will strike up a conversation, you know what I'm saying, with a white man. Right? Number 9, going into debt or leaving family behind to move to an all-white area or town. Frequently, you will see black females do this. All of them, when you go to Phoenix, Arizona never had any sizable black population, right? Never had any sizable black population. Never. Never. If you ask, and I've talked to brothers, like I talked to a mixed brother that's got that had a black father that's in the military, and he's also in the military. That was from Arizona, right? It's a lot of mixed brothers from Arizona, like Jason Taylor that played for the Dolphins, right? He's from Arizona. He told me that Arizona had like almost no black females living there until the movie Waiting to Exhale came out. And in the movie, they was living in Arizona. They had these nice ass houses with the rock gardens with fucking aloe vera plants and cactuses growing in the front yard and shit, real southwestern like, you know what I'm saying? But he said it was never any straight up FBA females living out there until Waiting to Exhale came out. He said that all of a sudden, when Waiting to Exhale came out, you start seeing them just come from everywhere. He said the first ones came from LA because that was the closest by. He said then they started coming from Chicago. They started coming from Florida. They started coming from Georgia. I said, damn. He said, yeah. And they just all started coming out here. And he said, these some of the loneliest black bitches you ever want to see. He said, you looking to have some one night stands, come to Phoenix. They'll get you right out here. Cause they searching for dick in the daytime with a flashlight. Cause these white boys definitely ain't going. And they never was. I said, wow. He said, yeah, man. I don't understand why they moved out here. And then I thought about what he said. And I noticed that after that movie came out, I did start hearing like, female co-workers, bitches I was fucking and shit. They always be talking about some, yeah, I'm thinking about moving to Arizona. And I'll be like, what's in Arizona? You got a job out there or something? No, just change your scenery. So you go move in the middle of the fucking desert for a change of scenery? Okay. I would never make such a move because you never know when society is going to end, especially if you're a woman. You never know when society is going to end. So now you go move somewhere to where you go place yourself in a position to have to sell your ass for a cup of water. Smart move. That's why I would never move to New Mexico, Arizona, none of that shit. No. Not even Nevada, none of that shit. None of that shit. Because if shit go left, if society collapse, man, you done. You done. At least where I'm at, you can live. If society collapse, it'll be rough, but you can live off the land. Shit, matter of fact, it's wild onions that grow straight out of the ground over here. Kill you a motherfucking deer and put that motherfucker in a pot with them damn onions. Shit, ain't no way in hell. For all my Midwest heads in here, y'all know exactly what I'm talking. Shit, even in the fucking the winter, you can just put a fucking get some bleach and wipe out a motherfucking bucket and just sit that motherfucker outside and let the snow fall in there and then take that shit somewhere warm and it melt into water. Shit, ain't no way in hell. Yeah, but a lot of them did make that move. They left their family members behind. Some of them even left their own kids behind. Some of them, I saw a lot of broads in the late 90s and early 2000s, move all the way to Arizona or Santa Fe, New Mexico, and get a mother some blank ass promise about coming back to get their kids, and they've been out there for years and only seen their kids at Christmas time. I've seen bitches do that shit. Well, some of them didn't have no kids when they did go to Arizona. The first thing they did is bought the biggest motherfucking McMansion they could, trying to impersonate what they seen on Waiting to Exhale. Yep. Going into debt and leaving family members behind to move to an all-white town in hopes of getting them a white man, and the dream still ain't panned out. Still ain't panned out. Still ain't panned out. Y'all gonna love this next one. Y'all gonna love the next one. Y'all gonna love this next one. Number 8. Oh yeah, you right about that, Favor. You right about that, Favor. They wanted to Favor rights. They wanted to blow up a nigga car in the desert because of a white bitch and walk away in a pencil skirt before getting her ass locked up. Yeah, I actually cited that in my book, that Hollywood depictions like that of the destruction of a black man's property are really nothing more than ritual reenactments of the Tulsa riots, in which, you know, black men's property get destroyed. Right? I've talked about that. And yeah, best to believe, if you were to actually blow up somebody's car with an explosive device, you're gonna get locked up for terrorism. They're not gonna just lock you up for destruction of property or arson. No, you go get locked up for terrorism. If it's an explosive device, if it's an improvised explosive device, you're going down for terrorism. Maybe if you just throw some gas and then set on fire, yeah, they give you arson. But other than that, your ass going down for terrorism. Straight up. All right, back to number 8. And y'all gonna like this one. Number 8, solo travel to Europe. Solo travel to Europe. Right? Solo travel to Europe. See, with this solo travel to Europe, this offers a lot of ghetto gaggers two of the things that they want badly. And that's remote distances to offer plausible deniability and discretion, and a forest of white dicks. Right? So they can get trains ran on them without people gossiping about them at their job or in whatever town they come from. Right? Oh, I know. Solo travel to Africa too, because white men be going there looking to split black oak, and they want to get in the crossfire. I know. But yeah, solo travel to Europe, and not only that, not only that, not only that. When they solo travel to Europe, in their mind, remember, because they identify more with whiteness than they do blackness, in their mind, the solo travel to Europe enhances who they are as a person in they mind, they twisted mind. It enhances who they are as a person, and the solo travel to Europe makes them more sophisticated inside of their own mind. They think that this intellectually enriches them because they went to Europe to drink up some white nut instead of doing it here. Like after watching a football game with a booth with 3 white dudes at a Bar Louie or some shit, it makes it more It makes them more enriched and sophisticated. KC writes, every time you laugh, my son start laughing with you. How old is your son? Yep. Solo travel to Europe is a big red flag. And I'm gonna tell you, brother, something. If you talking, if you find yourself where you don't struck up any type of conversation with a so-called black woman and they talking about I've been to Rome or whatever, abandon ship, abandon ship, abandon ship. Get out of there, bro. Get out of there. Yep. Yep. Cortez Swift writes, yep, that's why all black women who've been to Europe are more arrogant. Yep. Oh, that's actually where they like to go to the most. That's where they like to go to the most. Tech Boy writes, I've heard of their escapades in Greece and Italy, but it's recently been brought to my attention that they love Spain as well, particularly Barcelona. No, that's really the place that they like to go the most is Spain. That's where they like to go the most. They go to places like that, and the first thing they do is so before matter of fact, no, I take that back. Before they even go there, before they even leave to go there, they already are on them swinger sites from them countries with the and hitting the translate button if they don't know the language. They go there, they be talking all that cultural shit. No, they going there to go to swingers events, bro. They going there to get rammed in, bro. Yeah, they going to get rammed in. Straight up. Now, this is the next one, number 7. This is something I talked about before. This is something I talked about before, and y'all thought it was, y'all probably gonna think it's funny again. I mentioned it a long time. Number 7, driving off-road capable vehicles that are normally used by a demographic of white men aged 21 through 55, right? Y'all heard that? Driving off-road vehicles, driving off-road capable vehicles that normally you would see a white male age 21 through 55 driving. Most most white men, once they get to a certain age, unless they really into the heavy duty, into the rock crawler shit, they'll kind of drop the pretense and they'll get them like a luxury SUV. You know what I'm saying? Or one of them luxury SUV pickup trucks. One of them luxury pickup trucks, the Silverado with all the leather, big ass touchscreen. They be like, yeah, I'm not finna drive up no mountain. I just want some ground clearance. I just want some ground clearance and if I can drive in the winter, no. The vehicles I'm talking about, yeah, your Ford Broncos, not that Bronco sport shit, your Ford Broncos, your Jeep Wranglers, Jeep Gladiators, Toyota FJ Cruisers, uh, what else? Oh, lifted Toyota Tacomas. I seen that before. I seen them. I worked with a black broad that had a lifted Toyota Tacoma, right? A black lifted Toyota Tacoma with a roll bar in the back, the fucking lights, flood lights on top of the roll bar, flood lights in the motherfucking the brush guard and everything. It was a nice truck with the off-road tires on there. I'm like, damn. And then I used to always wonder who truck is that, right? And when I seen her climbing in that truck, I said, that bitch fuck with white men. And sure enough, she was letting the white dudes we that we worked with run trains on her. Yep. Yep. They do that as a signal to white men, right? Because for some reason, northern white men, until they get put up on game, they for some reason they act like they intimidated to talk to a black woman. So this is doing shit like this is black women's way of meeting them halfway. That's their way of meeting them halfway, bro. They do this shit as a dog whistle to say, hey, it's okay to try to get me to suck your dick. It's okay. Okay. It's okay. Now this is one. Now this next one, number 6. This is something that I never mentioned, and it's certain people in here with certain educational backgrounds. And I wonder what they gonna have to say about number 6. Wonder what they gonna have to say about number 6. Number 6 is enrolling in liberal arts colleges. Yep, enrolling in liberal arts colleges. Now, why do I say this? Why do I say enrolling in liberal arts colleges is a ghetto gagger main call? Right? This is why I say this. Of course, you have some ghetto gaggers that go to HBCUs. They go to HBCUs and they'll fuck some of the white townies. That's simple to understand, right? But those type of white men might not be what some of these bitches are looking for, right? Yep. Saul, no, I knew it. Saul writes, yes. The small liberal arts college. Yes. The small ones. Yes. 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 The small liberal arts colleges. Right? Why do they go to the small liberal arts colleges? They go to the small liberal arts colleges because they see that as more of a target rich environment than being at a regularly PWI, primarily white institution, like going to Michigan or going to Northwestern or going to Alabama or some shit like that. That's a mixed environment. And in that mixed environment, they're gonna have to deal with black men too. No. When one of these ghetto gagging ass bitches enroll at a small liberal arts college, they seeking to be in an environment where they are just inundated in liberal whiteness. Right? They seeking to be inundated in liberal whiteness. Favorite writes, I'm studying the mating habits of patriarchal wombats and the intersectionality of white supremacy that inhibits the cohabitation of tigers and kangaroos. Oh man. No, they not. No, they not. Doug Dissident. Doug Dissident writes, they think that that's what they can get a potential blue chipper brand. That's what they think, but they not understanding. All they gonna do is get a motherfucker that's gonna be in student loan debt like they are. They gonna be in student loan because none of these motherfuckers coming out of these schools are getting jobs. The only jobs they can get is teaching the same subject that they got credentials in. That's not really a useful major. Not really a useful major. It's not. They go to they go get a motherfucker that's gonna be in student loan debt like they are. What's crazy is that sometimes, like, black females from well-to-do homes will go into one of these universities and come out with a broke Brad. Exactly, Illmatic. Bottom shelf Brad you. Bottom shelf Brad you. Now, when you see them struggling and kissing ass and taking SAT courses to get into Harvard, that's where they trying to find the blue chip Brad. That's why they trying to find. That's where they going to the blue chip Brad. So, all right, those Christian fundamentalist schools, I've seen a couple try them too. Tito, he talking about the schools. Oh, okay. Like Grand Canyon University or Liberty or someplace like that. I can see that. I can see that. Yep. Yep. And the job market now is like a WWE Royal Rumble match. Yep. Yep. Number five, and this is one I've never mentioned before either. Number 5, attending white identified entertainment opportunities. Right? Yep. Going into places where they're not invited. Going to I knew this one black female I work with that told me she was going to a motherfucking a Jimmy Buffett concert. I was like, you white dick sucking bitch. Whoa, 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 whoa. Doug Dissident said, I knew an AKA chick from Oral Roberts that's been chasing Brad for years. She knocking on 50, lives among the white buffer class in Northern Virginia, and still single with no Brad or kid in sight. Are you fucking serious? I didn't even think that it was enough niggas at Oral Roberts University to have a fucking AKA chapter there. That's crazy. That's crazy. I really I'm blown away that it's actually enough niggas there to have a chapter of AKAs. Wow. Hey, I'm learning something new. You learn something new every day, man. I never would have guessed that. Never would have guessed that. But yeah, going to grunge concerts, going to fucking Lego. I knew this one broad that used to actually go to the Lego events. Now, don't get me wrong. I loved putting together Legos when I was a kid. And I even like doing it now. You know, I bought my fucking nieces and shit. They first Legos. They was into Legos and shit. But would I go to an event? No. No. The same reason I don't do an awful lot of online gaming, because that's kind of a whites only space. Unless you playing Madden, gaming is basically a whites only space. You playing Madden or 2K, yeah, yeah, okay. But once you get outside of that, it's a whites only space. It's a whites only space. You go get called, nigga. Like, play Fortnite online. Try to be a black man and play Fortnite online. You go get called. Matter of fact, be a black man playing Fortnite online and have a skin of a black character. Every single motherfucker on the board gonna start shooting at you. Every single motherfucker on the board is gonna shoot at you. Right? Man, I even let a bitch drag me to the fucking kabuki. I was like, man, I'm not into opera. Why the fuck would I want to go to a Japanese opera? And then she like to broaden your horizons and that. And I was like, I said, you know what? I've been to the kabuki before. It's okay, but I just couldn't understand the language, so it wasn't that entertaining. The action and the sword play was. And then the bitch got mad that I knew what the kabuki was. When did you go to the kabuki? I went for a field trip when I was in school. Yeah. So yeah. Yep. All going to all white entertainment opportunities because they think that that's where they're going to catch white men at a moment of levity, and it's going to make them feel like it's an automatic brownie point that they even know about this shit that they going to. That the white man is going to be just so impressed that they even know what this is that they at. Right now, let's move on. Number 4, claiming to be a conservative. Unfortunately, due to the media and the educational system, a lot of people, a lot of people confuse political conservatism with racism. Racism is not part of political conservatism because racism is extra constitutional. And a lot of times racism is extrajudicial, has nothing to do with the Constitution. But because of the political miseducation that 98% of Americans receive, they are mistaken that it does. And so they claim to be a conservative because they think that that gives them access to white men, and they think that it shows those that is a show of loyalty to any potential white man, that I'm one of the good ones, even though even though even though like I said, real political conservatism has absolutely nothing to do with racism. But it's crazy that the media has brainwashed people to that. I now remember Rashawn Talley. Let me get through with my list, then y'all can start adding them. He writes, I want to say skateboarding or hiking is another one. These black women will act like you're going to mess it up for them because you know some of these activities. I see old black women want to be political now. Yeah. You know what? I used to, it was a few of us that would go snowboarding with the white dudes when I was playing ball in college because this hills up there, snow, one shit else to do, right? And so I remember a black bitch got mad because she saw my snowboarding boots and shit in like it buried at the bottom of my closet. Why you ain't got this? What you done about this? You probably do this to be around white bitches. I'm like, no, I ain't been snowboarding in a long time now. This is something I used to enjoy with my teammates in college, right? Then I go over her house and this bitch got a fucking kayak on the fucking wall like it's a goddamn Bennigan's. Like the typical fucking hypocrisy. Typical fucking hypocrisy. Number 3. Y'all, a lot of y'all don't name this one. Number 3, wearing the apparel of white bands and TV shows. Now, wearing the apparel of white bands and TV shows is an easy and readily identifiable way to send a dog whistle to a white man. It don't involve much money because you can get these shirts for pennies on the fucking dollar at Walmart or even Family Dollar in some cases, right? It's visible, it's on your body. It doesn't involve a huge commitment like owning a lifted Toyota Tacoma or a FJ Cruiser or some shit like that. It doesn't involve that type of commitment. And it's Friends t-shirt. Yeah, you know the Friends t-shirts and hoodies that you see, the Nirvana, the Pearl Jam, the Stone Temple Pilots, all of that shit. And then what kills me is that you didn't really start seeing this until it was like the later millennial chicks doing it. And it's like, bitch, when this show was out, what you was 10, 12? Like, what do you know about this shit? All of that shit. I seen a young ghetto gagging bitch the other day wearing a goddamn System of the Down t-shirt. And I said the same thing y'all saying. I bet you if I asked her what's Bulls on Parade, she wouldn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because I used to listen to System of a Down. I think they communist and shit, but they had some good ass music. Yeah, those some communist motherfuckers, but they had some good music. But see, I could discern that they was communist and shit but I could separate that from me being entertained by their music. Whereas other motherfuckers, they listen to this music and think this a way of life. Right? Yeah, Pink Floyd, that's another. That's one you don't see that much, but I've seen that one too. And the crazy part with the Pink Floyd shit is that I've seen Pink Floyd shirts on motherfuckers I know goddamn well is too goddamn young. Too goddamn young to even know what the hell that is. To even know what the fuck Pink Floyd is. Shit. I go way back with you. I seen the broad with a motherfucking I seen the broad the other day with a motherfucking insane clown posse hoodie on. I said, you ghetto gagging ass bitch. You ghetto gagging ass bitch. Damn. Wait, how? Oh, whoa. Doug Dissident says, I seen some with Kiss and AC/DC shirts on. How old was they? That's I'm curious now. How old was them bitches? How old was they? Cause now you going back into the fucking 70s to where to where that's just fucking gratuitous as fuck. Gratuitous as fuck. Straight up. Oh, they was in their 60s. Damn, they doing that low rent ghetto gag and making call. That old, that's crazy. Oh, they was Gen Z? Damn. 19. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because they be selling the shirts at Family Dollar. I can't even think of no Kiss songs. Oh, Gears of War t-shirts. Yeah. Yep. 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 That's one of the easiest ways, bruh. That's one of the easiest fucking ways. It's easy and it's cheap. Don't take no commitment. No type of, you ain't got to get finance for it, none of that shit. You ain't got to travel nowhere for it. And it's available locally right down the fucking block. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's move on to number 2. Some of y'all mentioned this one. Some of y'all mentioned this one. Number 2 is the alternative looks rules. Furry, Comic-Con, fantasy, and anime. Some of y'all mentioned that one. 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 You know what? I had a Soundgarden t-shirt on because I actually like Soundgarden, right? You know what got me liking Soundgarden? Playing Road Rash, the video game that was on PS2, right? And this bitch was like, "Why you?" I said, "I bet you I can name their songs. I bet you I can name their songs." And then she shut the fuck up. Yeah, but number 2 is the alternative looks rules, the Comic-Con fantasy anime rules, the furries and all of that shit. Them motherfuckers. No, my favorite song by Soundgarden, Black Hole Sun is a good one. Black Hole Sun is a good one. But my favorite one is 4th of July. I love that song. 4th of July. By yeah. 4th of July by Soundgarden. Y'all look that motherfucker up. That's a good ass song. It's a great fucking song. But yeah, dressing up as shit, with the dumbass glasses on, the dumbass outfits, the little the furry ears, the tails from under the dress. And what's crazy is you can't get one of these bitches to wear a dress when you going with them. But then when they want to put on a performative show for a white boy, not now they got on a fucking short ass dress with exposed thigh high stockings, high heel boots with some motherfucking rabbit ears on. They'll put all this shit on just for the illusion of a hope of a chance to talk to a white motherfucker. But you can't get them to go out on y'all anniversary with a motherfucking dress on. Yeah, exactly. Bitch be dressing like 31 cartoon characters. Shit. Yeah, man. Number one. Number one. Number one, joining liberal social causes, pretending to be woke or pro-black. That's the number one way. That's the number one dog whistle. The number one ghetto gagger mating call. I'll say that again. Joining liberal social causes, pretending to be woke / pro-black. That's the number one way that they do it. Now, the reason that they use that this is the number one way to do it is it because it affords them the opportunity to be next to white liberals while also dispensing with some of the guilt of actually doing that. Because believe it or not, most of them actually have guilt to doing that shit. They actually have guilt with being a ghetto gagger. I know it don't seem like it, but they do. I know it don't seem like it, but it do. If you ever wonder whether they're guilty or not, just watch the way that when you see some of these parents out in public, some of them, they will try to avoid all contact with you. She'll like pull the white boy's arm and try to get him walk on the other side of the street. Like you really finna do some shit to them and you don't even give a fuck. Don't even fucking care. Rashawn Talley writes, I am seeing a lot of Afro Latinas in Latin America pretending to be pro-black and a master black historian. I see it a lot more in Colombia, but they'll tolerate racism on their jobs and our models. Uh-huh. Yep. 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 Illmatic writes, those BLM marches were nothing but Keisha and Brad meet in Greece. Yep. 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 Damn. No, I didn't see that. No, I didn't see that, Cortez. He writes, Tito, did you see the girl who was on Ghetto Gaggers who is now homeless and strung out? I'll find the video right quick. I wonder why. She probably got turned out to drugs by them white boys and she homeless because after you on Ghetto Gaggers, ain't no nigga finna take you in. We ain't, I mean, niggas is simps, but it ain't that goddamn bad. Hey, taking somebody who travel Cortez Smith, you don't go to Latin America to find black women. You don't go to I can think of some other places that if you just insist on dark meat, that it'll be way better than going there. And if you just can't help yourself. D-Mac, thanks for the cash app. Thanks for the cash app. Don't let that brother be alone. Damn. Chill writes, I saw almost everything you mentioned on this list from Keisha while I was in the Navy. I bet you did. I bet you did. What? Illmatic writes, I remember a ghetto gagger where the black chick got upset and how the white boys were talking down to her and she got mad and told them she was educated. Oh my God. Hey, I bet you the white, ain't no telling what they probably pissed in her mouth after she said that, dumbass bitch. Yeah, I never really. I pointed that out early. I pointed that out at like 16 when niggas was doing that. Cortez writes, that's why I can't stand seeing all these comments hyping up these mid Afro Latinas. They don't want us. They showing the fuck don't. They showing the fuck don't. They don't. But I mean, I understand if black women are your preference. I understand psychology and I understand biology. That's your flavor. But you know, it's just certain. It's just pointless to do so if you go into Latin America. Real pointless. You know, it's easy to be stuck in the velvet painting because we actually like black people, so we like black women. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Well, all right, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this, man. I'll be back tomorrow. Be back tomorrow, man. Get my final shots of the fucking old year. Probably do a yearly prediction joint. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. I'm finna get up out of here. This has been a Black Pill PSA. Peace.